not being reckless, but you definitely got a fighter right here in me, and I know what I'm doing. I kind of being on this floor and talking to the people after being in that office so long is really refreshing. It gives you just like, I mean, I can't believe we didn't see a lot of these things.
Oh yeah, it's your boy L. I'm with your homeboy over here, the new candidate that's running for president at the Dearborn Truck Plant, Chuck McCoy, y'all. All right, we about to go do a deep dive into this man right here. He's gonna talk about the experience, what he'll be able to provide, you know what I'm saying? Also, you know what I'm saying, what he went through in his tenure of being here for 30 years, you know? So we gonna get back into it, but I want you to tell the people, you know what I'm saying, why you the best candidate for the job right now, you know?
I think I'm the best candidate for the job. I started 1996, 30 years ago. I've been involved in the union since 1999 when I first became an alternate. I was elected in 2004 to district committee. I was appointed 2009, I think, to health and safety over at Dearborn Truck Plant. I've done many other roles. I'm trained in ergo standards. I've worked in quality. Most of my time was as an appointed health and safety rep, which is probably one of the most powerful positions, I guess you would say, in the plant. Health and safety is everything to the company, and to make sure these employees come in the way, leave out the way they came in, and so I just know that I got the heart for it, the drive, commitment. I'm a selfless person. I'm a visionary. I know what I'm doing. I've been in leadership my whole life, inside and outside the plant, picked by my peers, not just like I'm your boy or something. I've really been picked in leadership. I just know what I'm doing. I'm a 100% fighter.
Hey.
I'm a fighter. And I think I could change this around with the help of the membership, organize this leadership team, whoever's elected, to be able to put everything together to be a good service for the floor. I recognize how it has to be done now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real clear picture on it, and I'm ready to get to work and try to do that. So.
Yeah, we see you as the people's champ, you know. We see you as a fighter, you know, and we like the energy, we like the charisma, you know, and tell them also what you did for the community too, you know. They don't know about that too, you know, what you did to give back, and you know, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I want you to talk about it so they get to know, you know what I'm saying? Because the people, you know, they growing in this new era right now, the technology and, you know, the podcast, they want to be able to see it, you know, and hear it from the person straight up, you know, so let them know.
Well, I mean, I am involved in my own community. I've always been kind of involved in different things, but I was at one point the president of the North Corktown Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
I've been vice president, also a member over the years. We brought millions of dollars into the neighborhood, housing, just grants for businesses, grants for residents, for roofs, and just all kind of things. I've been working with the train station when that was being built, and just all of these things in the Corktown area I've been involved in just most recently. So I am definitely involved in the community. I have a 10-year-old daughter that goes to Detroit Public Schools, so I'm definitely involved.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I love that to hear that, especially about your daughter, you know. That's the biggest thing, being a father, you know.
For sure.
When your flowers, you can still smell it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't daddy, you know what I'm saying? Your daughter probably your daddy, you know. So that's one thing we gotta look at, especially, you know what I'm saying, with integrity.
For
sure. You know, so we can look at how you're gonna take care of the membership. All right, because you have a lot of these kids out here looking up to you like, hey, what I'm supposed to do? But you look at them like a kid, like, you know, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Be able to look at my child like, I got love for you, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's a family company. I'm saying, you already know about the Ford brand, you know, what we is at the UAW. You know, so we want the people to be able to feel that too, you know. So what y'all know about, he's a dad too, all right, y'all. So he understand, he got the sentiments, understand how it is having a family, you know, and on top of it, you know, understanding the ground, you understand the top too. You know, so what's some of your plans of being able to take, you know, the work quality, you know, from where it's at now, from what you've been hearing on the floor about, you know, the safety issues and what's been going on. I know you've heard about the floor breaking in at one time, you know. We need help. What can we do, brother?
So we're always a plant, so you're gonna have issues over and over. You're gonna have issues, but I think that part of my plan is I want to be able to have a secondary reporting tool. Like I want to put QR codes in the departments so people can actually get service that way, in addition to calling for the committee person or whatever resources they need. I want to have somebody tied in the committee room to that, so looking at the issues coming in and pushing them out to the proper resource. So it may be, I call my committee person, but I also shoot an email saying, hey, this is my issue. Some of the issues may be resolved before the committee person gets down there. So, because we're gonna have everybody involved, and everybody's gonna take a piece of it, but we're gonna have a secondary reporting tool. There's a QR code that goes inside the boxes. This is a rough draft of the secondary reporting tool. I want to be able to have QR codes in the departments where you can report out and it comes up to someone in the committee room, and you take that and give it to the responsible resources. And this is kind of like, almost like a war room setup, in the manner of, we gotta have a room where we're putting these calls and things on the wall or on a file and taking them away as we get them taken care of. So, and that even works with, against like managers that's out there bullying or doing different things. We want to hear about it because we're going to meet weekly on it after we gather all the information, and we're going to do some things about that. We're not going to let things linger for weeks and months. Anything that can be fixed, we're going to fix that right away. So I just think that we got to utilize the resources that we have and use them in a proper way of service, and not just be reactionary, sit and wait on a call, then I'll run out there and try to take care of it. No, some of these things we can just get an email from them and we can take care of it. Some people have just needed copies or something, or just some small things that don't require but a little service, and they have to wait on the union rep to handle all of these other issues, and so we got to get a lot better at that. So we're definitely going to have that secondary system of reporting in addition to what's already there, and we're going to have a follow-up with me as a chairman, meeting with my bargaining team weekly on all the issues from their shifts, and I'm going to go with those issues along with my bargaining team and get them resolved. I figure they're going to get tired of seeing the chairman coming in there because I'm not pushing that off. I'm coming to get that done. So you got, in leadership, you got to be ready to clear the air, clear the way sometimes for the people. And that's who I am. I'm not a person that want to send everybody. I want the action. I want to do it. I want to do it myself.
That's awesome. I got a question that came from the new hires.
Okay.
You know, they were talking about them not getting adequate training. You know, for instance, you know, one of them told me, you know, I'm not gonna name no names, but they were saying that, hey, they was working on the job. They was told they had 3 days to learn the job.
Right.
All right. They worked the job for 1 day. And then for 2 weeks straight, they was on double ups assigned by management. Then was sent back to that job and was told they only had 2 days of training left. How can you speak to that when management is putting these new hires pretty much in jeopardy of their jobs without giving them the opportunity to actually train on these jobs properly? You know, so that's poor management.
So you get 3 days training on jobs, some even more training depending on what type of job it is. Some jobs take a little more training. when you're normally training, they should be coming to you throughout the day and asking where you are and writing down pretty much a percentage that you're in agreement with of where you are. And you should come to all of that agreement, and when you get to that 100% at the same time. So if you're not doing that, you got get your union rep involved, your team leader. I know a lot of times that everything's done on a computer, and I've seen situations where the team leader has put in there that they're first till they know all the jobs, and if you talk to the operator, they don't know them. So there's ways to make sure that the training is done and verified by the person who's been trained. Other than that, I really don't want to hear it myself as a rep. Make sure you go through with the operator that they're fully trained. Other than that, I really don't want to hear that. We get a lot of that where people get loaned out. Now the money's gone. Now the managers may not want to say, hey, I kind of messed up on some of these training funds that were allocated, so I can't get them anymore. So we just got to be on that. We got to start reporting that really early, and that's what I'm saying. The secondary system will help with that, because if you're getting calls all over, some of those things may slip through the cracks if you don't have all the resources pushing toward that. So it's 3 days, and you guys should sign off on what you've been trained to. And if you don't get that, you call your union rep, and that should be able to be resolved.
Okay, I love that. I got another one for you, okay? New hires want to know, what is the union doing different with your leadership for people that's coming in straight up the streets to know their rights day one?
That's a good one. So we have orientations. A lot of times people hear things in orientation. You get sometimes even the language, if it was available in books or it's always online, and you get a lot of information, packets, but when you walk in that door on day one, it just seems like all that goes out the window for some reason. And we definitely have to get better at educating the membership. I'm going to be doing some more or some visual aids pertaining to that, the structure of the UAW, the hierarchy in the plant, and what everybody does. I think that's huge in itself. Some people don't even know where medical is. They forget who their union rep is. Sometimes where the restrooms are. So I have people right now that are ready to adopt members. So I want to get a program for members, senior members, who's willing to adopt new employees and kind of show them the way and point them at the resources that they may need. I've had people come up and talking and me campaigning and walking around and just talking to people. They say they want to do that.
That's awesome.
They want to. Yeah, we have several people that want to adopt some of the members, but I just think just putting out information, contractual information, and that's where the newsletter comes in. The floor, when they take over the newsletter, those are the things that they're communicating with each other on, and those things that you put in the newsletter. We could have a contract put out. We could put out excerpts of different things pertaining to the new hires. Like, for example, in the newsletter in the February edition, there was something pertaining to the new hires that they had to be here at least 6 months because the company could still get rid of them even after the 90 days. So let's put the contractual information in there. But little things like that we can actually get ahead of, and for sure we got to educate not only the new people on day one. It's people that are here 3-4 years and don't know a lot of things, and I just think that's a black eye on leadership if we're not getting a message out there or getting those kind of things out there for people to learn and make it easier for them to pick up and not have to filter through the whole contract. So we got to get better at that, and I definitely want to put more information out. for sure.
I love that. You know, best thing to combat, ignorance is with, knowledge, education, and that's what we need, you know what I'm saying? Especially from, coming from the top down and us looking up, you know what I'm saying? We would get educated, we can help each other, and that's when we got a functioning unit, we as team, and that's what I love about the Ford family and the UAW,
For sure.
So we gonna hit some more things that the people been asking. All right.
Okay.
What you gonna do about the elephant in the room, favoritism in the union? That been a big issue that a lot of people been talking about.
I
Especially,
didn't mean to cut you off. You mean like on the floor, or
Yeah,
you gotta be more specific?
Well, favoritism.
Leadership office or the floor out there?
favoritism, dealing with making the membership feel that hey,
Okay.
you're gonna represent me the same way you represent him.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's because he got 20 years. My 2 years don't mean nothing. You got people that think like that.
Gotcha.
And then they got people that think with 20 years I'm more important than this person.
Right.
We gotta let them know that we all family. And I'm here to represent you guys all equally with the same amount of love, same amount of quality, which is perfect.
So number one, we gotta represent everybody. We under federal law to be able to represent everybody. We can get the union sued by not representing people. So you want to represent anybody, everybody. But what I'm more concerned with is to be able to be a service. Everything shouldn't be revolved around me having to step out of line or having some union contact for me to get service. So if I come to work every day and I just happen to not have to go for attendance, or the line didn't go down, or I don't have any issues that some of the other people may run into here, not saying it's their fault on their own, but some people just don't have anything. I've talked to a lot of those folks, and they don't feel like it's a service. They feel like that they have to jump out of line for them to feel like it's a service. So that should not be the case. So we're definitely going to change that. We want to be a service for everybody, and we're going to represent everybody. But we're definitely going to be a service to everybody. That's for sure.
I love that, and on top of it, I like that, when I worked with you, you was always square, you know what I'm saying? Always kept everything square business. It wasn't nothing that, you did with me different than the next person, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you have a mutual respect, because you was the same person in this room and the other room, it was never a difference, So that's what I love about you, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to continue to keep doing that, you know what I'm saying? Especially as you go up the ladder and you represent us, because we're looking at you as paving the way, and on top of it, how to be, and on top of what we can learn from you, from the wisdom, with your tenure here for 30 years, that experience you pass it down to the new generation is making us better,
Right.
Especially we get away, rid of all the stuff that, you've been hearing about on the floor rumors and whatnot.
Right.
But the main thing that people was talking about also, you know what I'm saying, they want you to be able to talk about, is dealing with the attendance issue. I had a guy come up to me talking about that, hey, he had a baby and he can't get off because he's a male. What can we do dealing with dudes that want to take paternity leaves that got kids too?
They get maternity leave. The guys, I forgot what I just had.
Yeah.
But
that
we get time off. We get time off for having a baby, so that's not, just that's the law. You get time off. You can have up, I think it's 6 weeks.
Okay.
I'm a new parent 10 years ago. No, so you have, of course they have, you can get time off for bonding with your baby. But more than that, just when you're a service, these are things that are human things that they should be able to provide. And if we're in leadership, whoever that may be, can't do those things, then we maybe need to be looking for something else to do. Everything ain't easy. That's why everybody can't do everything. Sometimes you gotta have a little dog in you to go in there and get what you're supposed to get,
like that.
Yes, it's a fight sometimes, and I'm definitely ready to do that. I don't want to fight. I do not want to fight. Grew up my whole life fighting. Do not want to fight. But man, when it come down to that, it's hard to match my energy with that one. So,
Okay.
So,
And I was talking to some more new hires. They was asking about longevity. And they were saying, what's your plans to be to protect the plant and the new hires' job in the next 5 to 10 years?
good question. Right now we have a empty plant over there with a product that was promised, or at least the plant manager had mentioned some things, and they were saying that we're going to get that new product over the Red Sea, probably 28, 29, or whatever that's supposed to get over there. That could always change. I hope it stays the same. I'm sure they want to bring it over there to the best workers. We want all the smoke. We definitely want that work. But I'm here to transition the people with 15, 20 years and under into these leadership roles, into being a part of this system. I mean, right now, a lot of the people don't feel like they're a part of it. They feel like they're in here, but they don't feel like they're a part of the ingredients. So I'm going to make sure that that goes on. We got to get younger people involved. And what I mean specifically is we got standing committees going on right now that are functioning. We have things going on with the region, just a whole lot of things that we're going to constantly be putting out. And that's how you get noticed. That's how talent gets noticed. I just got involved when I first got here 27, 28 years ago. It led to me being an alternate rep in 1999 and elected in 2004. So when you're around and volunteering, good things happen. And there's a limited amount of people that do that. So sometimes the selection that it looks like that people are only picking certain people because nobody else is getting involved. And it's hard to go and find talent with all of the work that's already coming your way. So I just advise you, if you want to get involved, if good things happen, it's more than just the committee person you see. It's so many other things which we're going to be putting out there as far as things you can get involved in, volunteer, or even look at. It's an election coming up. Of course, you can run for office right now. So
that's awesome, and the people need to hear that, you know what I'm saying? On top of it, I appreciate you saying that to them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like they want to know what to do and what's the steps necessary to be able to make real change.
Okay.
And speaking of change, you know what I'm saying, with your 30 years tenure there, here at Ford Motor Company, what change can the plant actually expect when you in office and when you actually win? Like the first year.
I mean, just to be number one, from day one, whoever's elected, we're gonna get right on the same page. People don't mind working with me. Nobody works for me. I believe people work with me. I believe in getting more input from the floor. I don't know everything. I believe in putting the best ideas on the table, and that's where we go from there. No egos. I don't care where it comes from. I'll make sure that the people that work with me are happy and taken care of, making sure that their morale is up.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a dictator or micromanager or any of that. I like to support people. I like to see them grow and give them their own room to grow. Now there's some accountability with that. The expectation is for you to be able to come through. I'm results driven. I mean, I don't want to say I don't care how you get there, but I'm results driven and I like results. It's nothing worse than knowing everything, but you can't get it done. You can't get it closed. So I'm just a results driven person, and that's how I like to roll. And I will fight to the end to make sure things happen. Not being reckless, but you definitely got a fighter right here in me, and I know what I'm doing. I kind of being on this floor and talking to the people after being in that office so long is really refreshing. It gives you just like, I can't believe we didn't see a lot of these things from the leadership role. And you just can't fix what you can't see. So, I can see it now. We've got a lot of things we've been doing, working on in the background. with the team literally working to put these things in play. I mean, the things I'm talking about are not promises. These things are in play right now. They're real. You can touch them, and you know, of course, they got little kinks in them, and because they're in the development stage, and we're waiting on volunteers for the floor to put their hands in it and make sure that we do everything specifically for the floor, for the people on the floor.
Oh yeah. And I know you hit on this before, you know, but people was talking about that ride share program.
Mm-hmm.
They're very excited about it. They love the idea. Can you explain that one more time for them with the newsletter and everything? Because they were so excited about that, brother.
So a lot of people, of course, you can run into an emergency. Sometimes your car breaks down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, life happens, and it'd be nice to have a ride share program. With technology, we can have an app or a website where if you run into that emergency, hey, I live in such and such, who's coming that way or whatever, or whoever the volunteers are. We try to get volunteers from all parts of course, Michigan where we work. And when there's an emergency, I'm gonna put together a couple of $1,000s to start it off, because we could actually pay gas money to the people who do that, and it's a lot cheaper than Lyft or Uber. It's a lot more reasonable, and it helps out people a couple of days or whatever, you know, to get back and forth to work. Helps improve our attendance, the morale. To me, the people who get help start looking at us more as a family, and they know that we're there for them, and it just spreads. So the rideshare program, so just say if you had to get 3 rides to work in a week, but you really didn't have any money or you ran into something, we got money in the kitty to be able to pay for gas, and hopefully that you will put that money back and you're getting a ride when you can get there, and just those kind of things where we can constantly replenish the monies for gas for volunteers so they can get back and forth to work. And to me, when you start doing things like that, I know I've been picked up during some of my bad times over the years. It just makes a big difference, and I've done the same. I've caught the bus to work myself to see how it feels, to see some of the barriers people go through. I mean, right now with 28, 29 years, I get on the bus just to see. I've done a few of those different things, or ran out of gas or had problems. So sometimes, man, a lift might be, and I'm only 7 miles away, like $45. That is crazy. So this rideshare program, we definitely can put in play. And for all the volunteers, everything is going to be for the volunteers. Any perk, anything around here is going to be for the people who service the membership. Promise you that. I think we see enough people getting service that we don't need service in the union office. We need it on the floor. So that's what I'm looking for. People who are ready to serve the floor. I don't care what you think of me. You don't have to kiss I'm not into that. Service the floor. That's all I want, is people who want to service the people who build these trucks. Period.
And that's what the people want. You know, good quality representation. On top of it, like what you said prior to, we spending 60% of our life with these people that, we building this great product with, Right. So, we got to be able to make the best of it. And on top of it, get back and forth. I remember when I was a new hire, man, it was tough. I drove a raggedy Escort to work. And then one time, me and my homie, we rode a bike here, you got to do how you got to do, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, on how you to get back and forth to work. But that ride share will help a lot of new hires. And not just a new hire, somebody that's also, anybody that went through hard times, because hard times don't wait for seniority, y'all. Just because y'all get a lot of seniority don't mean you're going to not hit hard times no more. You know what I'm saying? We all have been there. So that's why, we keeping it real practical and being humble, on how we can help each other out, and keep our family strong.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, we have to, most people aren't looking for another job. They may say it, everybody used to say it, I haven't really looked for a job in a lot of years. once you get in this job, normally you end up being here, and you don't look for anything else. So we may as well make this the best and most comfortable workplace for us. I mean, they pay pretty good money for us, you know.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get pretty good benefits, and it's only going to get better. And especially with the young people getting involved, this is your house. This is your house. 30 years. It's probably 80% of the union leadership with over 20 years right now. So there has to be a transition. Absolutely has to be a transition.
Okay. And then on top of it, you know what I'm saying, we want to be able to speak to the people that do got seniority, you know what I'm saying? How can you speak to them about, you know, the things that they have seen, you know, growing through the years, seeing different chairmen? How are you going to be different with your tenure era and in your administration? You know, show the, you know, the people that have been here 20 years, how you protect their pensions. You know, people be scared about, you know, about retirement, you know, buyouts. What can you do to speak to them? You know, because they're important too. They are elders. We got to take care of them.
Everybody is important. Some of the issues with higher seniority members is this outsourcing. Outsourcing is terrible. I mean, the company just had a bonus of like 130% bonus while our profit sharing went down. And I think
that's true.
That's probably directly related to some of the outsourcing. We got to stop letting that outsourcing happen like that. I don't know what's happened. We actually hear from the leadership on how do we lose our work. Those are some of the questions I hope, you know, get answered during this campaign. How do we lose our work? We got to get our work back, and my plan is to be able to get the quality rep and the bargaining rep married to that every day, because I believe that if we can get all of the work back, we do the best jobs. I want that work to be able to spread not only in the motor bay, but throughout everywhere. Everybody wants to work overtime. I believe that we should take control of building our own product and having, I mean, as limited as outsourcing as possible, and figure out a way for the people there's so many people that want to work overtime. We got to be able to figure that out. Sometimes it's a lot of red tape and language that kind of forbids some of these things, but I just believe in making stuff happen. I'm just gonna make some stuff happen because we hide behind the language in some things, but then in other things we can rip. So we're gonna get that work back. We're gonna get that work back.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fighting if we can't get a lot of this stuff done. And I don't anticipate the company being that difficult. I'm not sure if we've been as proactive as we could have been. I really don't know. You have to ask the people, you know, in leadership now. But we lost a lot of work, and we got to get that work back. I want to protect. Like right now, we got high seniority people wanting to go to three crew or C crew and can't even go because of a deal or whatever was made contractually. They should have been able to have a shift preference before May. Right now, it's all the way until May. That had to be agreed upon. So you got to listen to the membership. You got to respect seniority, and those are some of the things that the higher seniority people have issues with. They want to make that money. They want to make that money, and I don't blame them. So I definitely want to go out and fix that as one of the biggest things for me. I just left the motor bay. I was one of the repairmen who was not getting the overtime, listening to the stories of people losing tens of thousands and watching the work go out the door and not, you know, for us not to be able to work and then getting pennies on the dollar on the grievance. So I would rather work and get my own money. I don't want the grievance, I'll take it later. But I want at least most of the money on the grievance. I don't want to settle for pennies on the dollar. So I definitely want to get that work back.
Oh yeah. And speaking about the higher seniority. Another issue came on was how can you make the process for retirement better? A lot of people with the seniority was talking about it's hard for them to retire. Like, could you put together some education for them to be able to show them like, hey, this is how you get out?
I've never kind of heard that. It would probably have to be specific because we got one of probably the best benefits reps in the system. She's been doing that for forever. In fact, I'm pretty sure people call from around the country or call our benefits rep. So I would just definitely direct them to the expert, the person that will be able to give them all that information. We got some really good reps inside of there. I think our former ergonomics rep would have just been awarded like the best ergo person, before she's not no longer doing the job anymore. But we got some really talented people, even on the floor. Look at you guys right here, what we're doing right here. And I'm gonna tap into that talent, trust me. I'm gonna tap into that talent. We're gonna put some things together and it's gonna be driven by you guys. I'm just a support. It's you guys' floor, and that's what I wanna make happen. So.
Okay, and I got one more, we about to wrap this up, okay? If you could describe your candidacy and your administration in one word, what would it be?
One word. Integrity.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Integrity. I just believe in having integrity. My background is a little, I don't come from, what do you call it? I don't come from Kansas or Oz or whatever. I've had some things go on in my life that I've definitely learned from, but I've always had integrity. You're not gonna hear about my name in controversies and none of that. I definitely respect everybody, especially the ladies or just everybody. And I'm just not a person that is not gonna be in any kind of controversy or any of that stuff. I know how to represent the plant and the membership, and that's just who I am. I've always been that person. Nothing changed about me. So.
Love that, Chuck. And we need integrity. That was the main thing that I was taught in the military. That was our main ethos. So it was integrity. And amongst one another. Being real and honest. You know what I'm saying? And standing front lines. Because when you front lines, integrity means a lot.
Sure.
You don't want to see your brother running when the enemy's coming at us. We gonna hold this line together. That means something. Especially growing through, what you're going through. You're going through the fire, you got somebody been through the fire, been charcoal before, he ain't been to grill, he ain't been to meat. You better give people the right experience, through your own experience on how to get through, and survive and thrive.
For sure.
And that's what we doing here now,
Even when we work together, like when you were doing an alternate job, and I just believe in helping everybody. I've helped a lot of people in the union office. I just believe that I know what I'm doing as far as helping people. And I love it. I like to do that, to see the reactions from them and to give them, I guess, encouragement that they can do some of these things, So a lot of people that come from, everybody don't come from the greatest families or seeing how people work and just to know how the dynamics of all of that. And it's kind of good to be able to take people under your wing. You meet them in the first couple of months, you see the struggles, and then a couple of years later, you look, and then 7, 8 years later, they're on a job with a radio, a team leader, or some kind of leadership role. So to see the growth in the people has always been one of the things that I enjoyed most of my time. Barely was coming to work in year 1 or whatever, and now they're the team leader on that team, and they're going through some of the same things with the newer people, and they can share some of the things. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting everybody's support for this election coming up. I do have a plan, which you can see
Oh yeah.
I've been involved in this game a long, long time. When it comes down to fighting, I really wish I can. I mean, I'm a fighter. Trust me, I am a fighter. And, that's who I am. So.
Oh yeah, you want a fighter, especially in this war we got called life. Okay, you know what I'm saying. And we appreciate you, Chuck, for coming out to the show. Be able to get the people, you know what I'm saying, a piece of you, piece of your heart, piece of your vision. You know, especially when we going through this transition and new leadership. You know, so this is what you can expect. You know, this is just the tip of the iceberg, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got more Chuck coming, you know, gearing up for a presidential debate. You know, we want to tell the people how you've been training and practicing for this debate. You know, getting ready to slug it out with the candidates, mano a mano.
You know, whatever you guys put together, but I just want more than anything for the people to see the candidates, no matter which candidate they like. And just to get out and get involved. It's probably about 4,000 people at the plant or whatever the numbers are. Normally we only get about 60% of the people to show up or sometimes less. I want to see a big turnout. I want to see a huge turnout for everybody to get involved so they can see the dynamics of how everything works. So maybe the next election or just whatever, you could start putting your, I guess, mark on this wonderful 30-year ride that you can have in here. Either being involved or not saying a word and coming here and doing the job is still great, but being involved has done a lot for me because I've been able to help people literally transition into the roles that I actually struggled getting into when I first started. So I love that. And I just want more than anything that for the people to get that if you stand around and just point at everybody else and don't really do anything yourself, you can't complain really, because I don't call that favoritism. I call that the only people you see being involved. Right? So we can't sit on the side, and you gotta get in the vision to be picked for some things. So be careful of people coming to always try to say, hey, pick you, because sometimes the intentions are a little different. I like to do things organically and let the people come forward and do things, you know, because you get to me a lot better candidate sometimes for whatever it is. Come forward, guys, come forward. So it's out.
This is what we love, man. Perfect guy for the job. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait for this debate. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be epic. It's the first one we have in the Dearborn truck line. It's going to be history being made. You know that, right?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Anything that'll give the people a better view of the candidates. Just anything, because it's a crucial time, especially for you young folks. And hopefully you guys have some really good questions to all of us or concerns, so you can pick the right candidate. So.
Oh yeah. So we about to wrap this up and everything. You know, I want to let you know, thank you for coming out. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything you did this 30 years and everything you plan on doing, especially, you know what I'm saying, making the plant thrive, and we can get back to restoring the floor. You know, get back to the vision, get back to integrity. You know,
for sure.
And I'm happy you summed that up to the perfect word. You know, one power, one respect, one them by I. It's about integrity, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I love, you know, so that's what we want to be able to put out here to our people, our family and everything. Also, we're going to have the newsletter and the link as well, guys. I want y'all to be able to look at that newsletter, you know, and also give us feedback, too, about anything you want to see implemented in that as well, how we can make the rideshare program better. You know, we need volunteers, you know, and the problem with, you know, change is that people want to see change but don't want to be changed. Change start with you too.
Exactly.
You know, so if you see something this could be better, this could be better. Okay, pick up the nail and hammer and get to work. All right, you know, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to help as a community, you know, and make this thing go ahead and do what it do.
For sure. We're going to bring these Christmas parties back. Just a lot of things with camaraderie. I'm the type of person that, you know, I don't mind. I mean, I don't have nothing nowhere near like that, but I don't mind starting financing things. I don't mind.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about that to get things going. Because when you help people, the people you create when you help people, I mean, sometimes those are just some great, great people, and they really go out and push and fight for others, and they lean on that, what others done for them. And sometimes that lasts a lifetime in them to fight. So the more people we touch and help and get in a better position, those are the more people that's going to be reaching out to others, and we can keep this thing going. So I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see that before I leave. I'm only doing 3 more years. I don't care what. I just want to see that before I get out of here.
We appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? We want to see that vision coming true, you know, reality, all right? Thank y'all for also coming out. I know you could be anywhere in the world. You chose to be here, me and Chuck. Chuck McCoy, you know what I'm saying, the future president of DTP, you know. I'm so happy to have him come out, tell us about integrity and his plans for us, and, you know, we can't wait to see more, all right? We see you on the next side. Thank y'all for joining the Work at the Dark podcast show. See you on the other side. One.